In today's video, we are getting on the road and heading down 95 South in Northern Virginia. I get asked all the time what the commute on 95 looks like, and while I'm not going to be doing it during rush hour, this will give you an idea of the lay of the land. We're going to go past Lorton, Woodbridge, Occoquan, and actually go all the way down to Quantico. So here we go. I just got off of Edsel Road and I am coming up here. This is a major split. Getting onto 395 right now, and then on our right you can get on 495 and head into Tyson's Corner, but we are going to be merging to the left because we're going to head down 95. You can also access 95 north from this right lane next to me. That would take you up to Baltimore, and if you stayed in the lane that this moving van just merged out of, that will take you into Springfield, or you could loop and head into Kingstown from there as well. But for today, we are headed south on 95, and keep in mind, it is 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning that I am filming this, so traffic by 12:30, 1 o'clock, you will start to experience traffic on 95 South with people heading out of DC, heading back home. The morning rush hour is heaviest on 95 North, and rush hour starts early here in Northern Virginia. We are talking 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. You will start to see traffic building on 95 North. You can actually see, if you look to the far left of the screen, traffic is really backed up on the north side right now. That is because there is currently an accident on 395 at the King Street exit, and it is backing up all the way down 95 North, so that's why you're seeing that traffic there. Now we're coming up to the Backwood Road exit, and also want to mention that 95 does have express lanes. The downside is, unlike 495 and 66, they only flow one direction. So in the mornings during the week, they are open coming north, and they're actually still open coming north right now. Those are the lanes that you see off to the left here where traffic is moving well. Then the far left is regular 95 north lanes where there's all the traffic. These were one of the first express lanes in our area to open, and I don't know if they just didn't think it through, or if construction-wise it is not possible for them to have made lanes that flow both ways. But it's definitely a downside to 95 because you can't always take the express lanes depending on what time of day it is. They will open them up for the afternoon commute. They will start flowing south to help take some of that volume out. Definitely a great way to save time, but it will cost you. Next exit here on 95 South is going to be Fairfax County Parkway that we are coming up to. Fairfax County Parkway is another option to take if you are going to be commuting to, say, Herndon or Reston. Fairfax County Parkway is a great option to pick up and take to avoid, as much as possible, either 95, 495, or 66. As we make our way to our next exit, which is going to be Lorton, I want to share a little bit about Lorton. Your money for real estate will go a bit further in Lorton. Average sale price for homes right now is $614,038. Lorton is a growing area. It's really not too far removed. Lorton is still in Fairfax County, where we'll be heading to Woodbridge and Dumfries, and that'll take us into Prince William. So you're still not too far if you're going to be commuting in and out of DC. Lorton also has really easy access to VRE if you don't want to have to drive into the city. And you're also not too far from the Franconia Springfield Metro station. If you prefer to take Metro over the train, that's an option as well. You'll see the Lorton exit just coming up here on the right. Something I love about Lorton, they have a lot of fantastic parks. You'll find all types of housing in Lorton: apartments, condos, townhomes, single families, lots of options there. You'll also find homes on acreage in Lorton, a little bit more elbow room in that area, and just so many beautiful parks to visit. We take the dogs into different parks in Lorton a lot. So as we cruise along up here, you're gonna see in about a half a mile, a left exit, and that is to get on Route 1, also known as Jefferson Davis Highway. Route 1 parallels 95, and Route 1 can be hit or miss. There are a lot of lights on Route 1, but if you find yourself in a situation where there's been an accident on 95, I would, a little pro tip, recommend jumping on Route 1 just as soon as you possibly can, because you and hundreds of other cars will do the same once that accident happens. But it can be a good route to navigate around whatever's happening on 95. Weekends on 95, there is a lot of traffic as well. If you are going to be commuting, I would leave early or leave really late. I make the run back and forth from Alexandria to Charleston, South Carolina a lot, and know the commute times on 95. If you don't get up and at them and get on the road, it can cost you hours on your drive time. There's the exit to hop on Route 1 South and head into Woodbridge. We're sticking to 95. We are going to be coming up on the right is going to be an exit for 123, which will take you into Occoquan, which is such a fantastic, I feel like underrated, not talked enough about area in Northern Virginia. Occoquan is this small, quaint town right on the water, lots of small businesses, and it's just a fun place to go and enjoy the water, enjoy very friendly people. It really does have that small town charm, and they have a lot of wonderful food. One thing about this spot on 95 South, though, is I would say 9 times out of 10, it is backed up. It's really not too bad today, although you can see the brake lights a little bit coming up here. On an average day, though, and if I were doing this even an hour later, you are going to be hitting the brakes as you come up over the hill and then cross over the exit for Occoquan and Lake Ridge. It's just an awkward area with cars merging in, cars merging off, and it is a sore spot on 95 South without a doubt. You can see here we're slowing down. I'm doing about 30 right now, which honestly is really not bad for this spot, but when you consider that it's 11:15 on a Thursday morning, you can imagine how bad it is during commute times in the afternoon or weekend afternoons. It really does back up. If you're interested in seeing more of the Occoquan area, we have a vlog and pros and cons that are shot in Occoquan. Check those out. It really is, I can't emphasize enough, I just love Occoquan. It's a beautiful area. As we come up here a little bit further, about a mile, we are going to be passing the exit for Prince William County Parkway, which will take you into Woodbridge and Dale City, which is a huge neighborhood within Woodbridge. A lot of people are relocating to Woodbridge because it's another area that you will find your money goes quite a bit further, especially if you're comparing it to, say, Alexandria or Arlington. Average sale price for homes in Woodbridge right now is $525,000, and Woodbridge was developed in the 60s and the 70s, so there are quite a lot, I will say, older homes, older properties, both condos, townhomes, and single families. But everything you could possibly need is in Woodbridge as far as shopping, dining, daily needs. Depending on where you're going to be commuting for work, that could be a downside to Woodbridge. No metro, and it's going to be a little bit of a drive, but they do have kiss and ride lots, and you can have access to VRE. That's very convenient. So you do still have other options. You're further out for sure from DC and the Beltway. But if you're looking for your money to go a bit further with real estate, then certainly it is worth considering. So here we are passing the exit now to get onto PW Parkway. And as we come up over this hill, I cannot go past Woodbridge and not mention that it is home to Potomac Mills Mall, and it is a massive, massive mall. Locals love it, but it's not just a locals thing. It really is a tourist attraction in Northern Virginia. I can remember going to Potomac Mills Mall with my godmother as a child to go school shopping and just being completely overwhelmed by the sheer size of the mall. Anything and everything you could possibly want is at Potomac Mills Mall. We're just coming up to the exit. You'll see the sign up here on the right side. This sign actually is a new sign. We had a really bad windstorm. Gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 years ago now. It's been some time, but they completely ripped down their sign. You can see it up there on the right side. And there's a huge IKEA that we're going to be passing. Things are really blooming for spring, so it's getting harder to see. But there's the IKEA on the right there, and it's part of the mall. Next exit is Dale City and Ripon Landing. Dale City, again, huge neighborhood in Woodbridge. There's lots of ways to access that area depending on what side you are trying to get into. You can see, I know I mentioned it in a lot of videos, there's always construction going on in Northern Virginia, and 95 is no exception. Now we are just getting ready to come up to the exit for 234 that will take you still into Woodbridge, but also into Dumfries. Dumfries has also become a very popular area because your money goes quite a bit further. Average sale price in Dumfries is $588,000. Dumfries is also home to Potomac Shores, which is a massive master plan community. Multiple builders went in on this community, and it's got everything you could possibly think of. It even has a Jack Nicklaus golf course. The homes, there's mostly townhomes, but there are some villas in there too. Townhomes in Potomac Shores, you're looking at, on average, 600 to 800, and I know that might sound high, but some of these townhomes are absolutely massive. They're huge, and it's newer construction. Another thing about Potomac Shores is it offers easy access to VRE as well, and lots of dining options too. I also want to mention that this area is where you would hop off to also go to Montclair. And Montclair is a little bit lesser known community in Northern Virginia, but people who move there, our clients absolutely love Montclair. I've never had anyone move there and not just completely fall in love with the area. It was developed in the late 70s, early 80s. You've got a golf course, tennis, pools. Something that I love about Montclair is you have mature trees everywhere. It's such a beautiful area. Townhomes will be in the 400 to 500K range, and single families average 600 to 800, but there certainly are some that top $1 million as well. We're just coming up, we're about a mile from the Quantico exit. If you are living in, Lorton, Woodbridge, Dumfries, Montclair, and commuting to Quantico, you really would not have a bad commute at all because you would be going against traffic. Prince William Forest Park is a gorgeous park. We had family photos taken there a few years ago, and it's huge. If you ever want to visit, it's worth it. Lots to see and do there. Campground as well. Just a beautiful area. I'm just going to come up here and take the exit for Quantico so that then I can loop back up 95 north. Here we are now, coming back up the other way to head north towards Washington, D.C. This sign on the right will give you an idea. Again, off-peak time, Pentagon is 27 miles, 34 minutes, which is definitely on the low end of what your commute time could be if you're doing it during peak rush hour and plan on driving into the Pentagon. I would double that. A little bit of traffic here. They've got the left lane closed doing construction, so that is probably not helping things. But I know it's also because there is that wreck on 395 and it's caused everything to back up. One thing that you'll notice if you commute on 95 a lot You see this long exit lane on the other side of the barrier to the right of me, and you will notice that people frequently, including truckers, take that exit just to avoid the traffic here on the main lanes, and they actually never get off. They then merge back in, so they're part of the problem. It's one of my pet peeves about 95. I just saw a trucker do it, and it reminded me to mention that that's something you will experience frequently on this road. You can see now too that right now it is 11:45, so the lanes have been switched. The express lanes on the left here have been switched. They are now heading south for the afternoon commute. This is about average as far as speed this time of day on 95. It's just hard in this area to avoid traffic in general. Speed right now, I'm going 35. The fact that it's moving, I'll take it. Anytime 95, whether it's north or south, is moving, it's a win in my book. It's just kind of how it goes. And I would say starting from, on an average day, it starts around Fredericksburg, and you'll have traffic all the way up until you get up to the Mixing Bowl and split off to wherever you're headed, whether it's 495 or 395 to head into DC. Passing PW Parkway, coming back the other way. Now, something else that I didn't mention about Woodbridge and Manassas. We have a vlog, pros and cons, and a map tour of both of those areas. So if there are ones that you are researching and interested in, be sure to check those out. Just coming back to the 123 exit. We'll be coming over the bridge here shortly. I'm curious to see what it looks like on the left as compared to when we were just on there headed south, 25-ish, 30 minutes ago. It's already heavier. You can see we're just getting up to that Occoquan exit that I was saying always backs up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of the Jersey wall here, but maybe when we get a little bit lower. Yes, you're going to be able to get a really good view of that hill coming down 95 south and just how much heavier it is in this short amount of time. And that is what will ultimately build into the afternoon commute coming out of the city. And I know you're probably thinking, really, Amanda, it's 11:50, it's 10 to noon. And yes, that is very normal here in Northern Virginia. It is rare that you can hit this downhill on the left side coming on 95 south without hitting some traffic, unless it's just really, really off peak hours. On the right is the exit for Route 1 if you wanted to go north on Route 1 to go to Fort Belvoir. Also take you to Mount Vernon in Alexandria. And if you want to stay on Route 1 even longer, it will take you through Mount Vernon and then also right through Old Town, Alexandria, and then Potomac Yards, and then into Crystal City. Now, I've just come past the exit and over the hill for Route 1 on the right to head north, and now we are coming back up. Next is going to be Lorton, and then after that will be Fairfax County Parkway. I am going to show you what it looks like just past Fairfax County Parkway and Backwood Road, so you can see the Mixing Bowl. The Mixing Bowl can be very confusing in our area, and I understand why, because it's just splitting off in every different direction. So if you don't know exactly where you are, chances are you're going to be changing lanes. And it really does live up to its name. It is a mixing bowl of chaos and cars. So we'll be to the Mixing Bowl in just a couple minutes, and wanted to point out a couple of the local exits. If you go to the right, you can head into Springfield, and Springfield Mall is also just right off the exit. You can also use this exit to hop on Franconia Road to head into either Kingstown or Rose Hill. And then as we come up here just a little bit further, you're going to see the Mixing Bowl split, which is you can hop on 495 in either direction. You can also hop on 395, and if you are wanting to stay on 95, you can do that as well, but what happens is it turns into both 495 and 95 for just a split until you head up further north, and then it will go back to 95. And I know that sounds confusing, but 495, also known as the Beltway, it's a big circle in Northern Virginia, but it's a highly traveled road, so very busy area, and it overlaps with 95. You can see the signs coming up right here. We are going to be staying on 395, so I'm just going to remain in the lane that I'm in because of traveling this so much. I know that's the direction I need to go, but you will notice people changing lanes left and right coming up here. This exit to the right here that I mentioned about Springfield, and also giving you access to Franconia Road. You can also access the Franconia Springfield metro station by taking this exit as well. It's just not even 5 minutes off the exit. All right, so here we go. You can see all of these different signs, confusion on where to go, and we again are gonna stay right in this lane because it's gonna split off. But if I wanted to head into Maryland or access DC from Maryland, I'd be splitting off to the left. 395 is where we are headed because I'm headed to Alexandria, Del Rey area after this video. And then if you wanted to head towards Tyson's Corner, you would get in the far right lane. And there you have it. That is a tour from 395 getting onto 95 South all the way down to Quantico, and then we looped back and came up 95 North. I hope that gives you an idea of the lay of the land and just a little better idea of how things are laid out with the different exits and different areas. If you have any questions about the Northern Virginia area, drop them in the comments below or reach out to me anytime. I love hearing from you. And until I see you on the next one, take care.